what makes me happy, other than my wife and daughter, has to be being here, processing film, making prints, and seeing people do their work. I get excited when when I have a guided session and somebody who's never printed or ever processed before, and when they see their product come out, that's awesome. It's awesome. It's just this indescribable feeling of like, oh, this is so cool. The reason why I started the darkroom is because one, I was looking for a place where I could process my film and do my reprints, and at the time I was saying like I originally wanted to have my own darkroom, have a house eventually, and build one. I was asked a very important question: if money was not an issue, what would we be doing right now? The first thing right now that came to my head was film photography, black and white film photography.
My favorite part is seeing things that started off as an idea materialize. So I love to ask people what they want to do with their lives, and entrepreneurs, I like talking to them and seeing, or budding entrepreneurs and seeing, what's in their heart. And the best thing about it is seeing it become a real thing. So for me, that was very much this process, and I got to see that process happen with somebody that I love deeply, my husband. The way I see it is I'm more of the, I guess I could be the backbone of the place. So I'm not very technical when it comes to the photography bit of it, but I'm the everything else. I wear all those other hats. I make sure that the strategy is right. I make sure that the people are doing well. I make sure that customers come in, and when they do come in, that everything is to their liking as much as we can provide.
I'm a Valley girl, so I lived in San Fernando Valley throughout the full 30 years of my life. Been into art, photography. I got into photography when I was doing graphic design. It was just a regular digital camera I got from the store, just taking pictures, trying to practice, learn. Watching them do it back then, years ago, of how film was developed, got me more into me wanting to do it myself. My favorite thing is like the process of, the dark room, the whole red lighting, and then just the whole experience of like doing it all yourself, dipping it in water, then letting it dry. I feel like it's important getting someone's emotion through an emotion picture, because like they're always like posing here and there.
I'd like to see it expand to the point where we have ample membership base, and we're starting to get there. We're relatively new. And after the point of stabilization, what I would like to see is seeing the people that are in the darkroom actually begin to launch their own big projects, because they've been provided a space that is accessible and affordable enough for them to actually create their dream projects. And I'd like to be part of that process.
Growing up, I always felt like I always saw people or teenagers, kids, or even adults, and always had a group of people to hang out with. But I never felt like I belonged anywhere, and that always bothered me to a certain degree. But the point of creating the darkroom, I had an epiphany: is why don't you start your own? Like, why don't you start your own? You know what it is to not have that and not be a part of something. Why don't you create a place where there are people just like you to be a part of?